Attention seniors, are you aware that your refrigerator might be doing more harm than good? It may sound surprising, but there are 9 everyday foods that shouldn't be kept in the fridge at all. More importantly, storing them in cold temperatures can actually change their chemical makeup, leading to loss of nutrients and even harmful bacterial growth. Shockingly, more than 99% of people over 60 continue to refrigerate these foods without knowing the potential risks to their gut, heart, and brain health. Experts now suggest that our reliance on refrigeration could be playing a role in the increasing rates of chronic illnesses among older adults. But don't worry, we're here to share the facts. In this video, we'll reveal the 9 foods you should store outside the refrigerator and provide you with straightforward tips for safe storage. And wait until you hear about number 2 on our list. It might really surprise you. All the information we're sharing is supported by solid research, and we've included sources in the description for you to check out. Before we dive in, we'd love to connect with you. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from, your age, and if you've noticed any changes in the flavor or texture of foods after refrigeration. We'll be reading and responding to your comments with personalized tips just for you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more helpful content. Now, let's get started with our first food, potatoes. Here's something that might truly surprise you. When you refrigerate potatoes, you could be creating a toxic substance. Cold temperatures turn the starches in potatoes into sugars, a process called cold-induced sweetening. This isn't just about a change in taste. High heat cooking of these sugary potatoes can form acrylamide, which is classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as a probable carcinogen. Research from the University of Idaho has shown that potatoes stored in the fridge can see their sugar content surge by 300% in just 2 weeks. That's a huge increase. Plus, the cold damages the potatoes' cell structure, making them taste gritty and overly sweet. Ever wondered why your mashed potatoes aren't as tasty as they used to be? It's likely due to refrigeration. So, how should you store your potatoes instead? Keep them in a cool, dark place at around 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. A pantry or cellar is perfect, or even a cardboard box in a closet. Just remember to keep them in the dark. Light can cause them to produce solanine, which is what makes green potatoes toxic. Use a paper bag or a basket for storage. Avoid plastic bags as they trap moisture and promote rotting. Here's a helpful tip for you. Understanding how to store some common foods can truly change your life by helping you maintain their quality. And this is especially important as we age. Let's dive into a couple of key items that might surprise you. First up, potatoes and onions. If you think they're best buddies in the kitchen, think again. These 2 vegetables release gases that can make each other spoil more quickly. It's best to keep them at least 3 feet apart. When stored properly, potatoes can last up to 3 months. But don't put them in the fridge. That will ruin them in just 2 weeks. Now let's talk about bread. Many people don't realize that keeping bread in the refrigerator actually makes it go stale faster. I know it sounds strange, but here's the scoop. Cool temperatures speed up a process called starch retrogradation, which basically makes bread hard and crumbly. Research shows that bread stored in the fridge can go stale 6 times faster than bread kept at room temperature. So if you enjoy fresh bread, store it in a bread box or a paper bag at room temperature. If you can't finish a loaf in a week, slice it and freeze the pieces. Freezing preserves bread better than refrigeration, so you can toast those slices straight from the freezer to enjoy them warm and delicious. Lastly, let's chat about honey, which is truly one of nature's treasures. Did you know that honey never spoils? Archaeologists have found still edible honey from over 3,000 years ago. However, if you put it in the fridge, it can crystallize and lose its smooth texture and unique flavor. Cold temperatures can also reduce honey's natural antibacterial properties. To keep honey at its best, store it at room temperature in a tightly sealed container, away from sunlight. And if it does crystallize, just place the jar in warm water and stir. It's perfectly safe and will return to its liquid form. So remember, Proper storage can keep your food fresh and tasty, supporting your health and well-being as you age. Making these simple changes can create a significant impact on your quality of life and might even make your meals more enjoyable. Did you know that the way you store certain foods could significantly impact your health and well-being? Let's take a look at two common items, honey and coffee, and how proper storage can unlock their maximum benefits for you and your body. First up is honey. If you're a fan of darker honey because of its higher antioxidant levels, it's important to store it properly. Dark honey is more sensitive to cold compared to lighter varieties. When you refrigerate it, those wonderful antioxidants can break down due to the chilly temperatures. So, instead of sticking it in the fridge, keep your honey in a cool, dark place to preserve its goodness. Now, for all the coffee lovers out there, I've got some crucial advice. Storing your beloved coffee in the refrigerator? That could be ruining it. Coffee beans are like little sponges. They soak up smells from everything around them, whether it's last night's leftover takeout or that old cheese. This is why your morning coffee might taste off or strange. But there's more. The temperature fluctuations in your refrigerator can create condensation, which leads to mold and makes your beans age prematurely. In fact, studies show that refrigerated coffee can lose a significant amount of its flavor and aroma in just a week. Instead, keep your coffee in an airtight, opaque container at room temperature. Somewhere between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit is best. Buy smaller amounts that you can finish in about 2 weeks. If you need to store it longer, freezing it is a better option. Just remember to freeze in portions and never refreeze. Next is garlic. While it's a staple in many kitchens for its health benefits, storing garlic in the fridge is a big no-no, especially for seniors who rely on its medicinal properties. Not only does garlic start to sprout and lose its strong flavor, but the moist environment can lead to mold growth, some of which can harbor harmful toxins. Research shows that refrigerated garlic can lose half of its beneficial compounds in less than 2 weeks. Instead, keep garlic in a cool, dry place to maintain its potency and benefits for heart health. By following these simple storage tips for honey, coffee, and garlic, you can ensure that you're making the most of their health properties. Remember, it's the little changes in how we handle our food that can lead to big improvements in our health and vitality. Have you ever tried to chop up refrigerated garlic? It turns into a sticky paste that makes a mess in your kitchen. To keep garlic fresh and flavorful, it's best to store it in a cool, dry place with plenty of air circulation, like a mesh bag or a basket. Aim for a temperature of around 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid keeping garlic in plastic or a sealed container. It needs to breathe. Also, steer clear of direct sunlight and heat from the stove, as these can make it bitter and cause it to sprout more quickly. With proper storage, a whole head of garlic can last up to 6 months. But once you break it apart, be sure to use the cloves within 10 days for the best taste. Now, here's a tip that can truly enhance your cooking. Garlic stored at room temperature releases its delicious flavors much better than cold garlic. Those essential oils responsible for garlic's great taste thrive in warmer temperatures. Your dishes will definitely taste better when you use garlic that has been cared for properly. Let's talk about bananas next. Storing bananas in the refrigerator is a recipe for disaster. When you put a banana in the fridge, it will turn into a black, mushy mess. But it's not just about looks. The cold actually causes what scientists call chilling injury. Bananas are tropical fruits, and they can't tolerate cold temperatures. This chilling can damage their cells and lead to a loss of nutrients. In fact, research has shown that bananas kept below 56 degrees Fahrenheit can lose 80% of their vitamin C content within just 5 days. Plus, refrigeration halts their ripening process, meaning they stop developing those beneficial nutrients. The black spots you see on a refrigerated banana are a sign that something has gone wrong. These areas indicate that some of the fruit's tissue has died, and that can make room for harmful bacteria and mold to grow, even if you can't see it. To keep your bananas fresh, store them at room temperature, ideally between 56 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Hang them on a banana hook to avoid bruising and allow good airflow. And here's a fun supermarket secret. You can speed up or slow down how fast your bananas ripen. To ripen them quicker, place them in a paper bag with an apple. To slow down the ripening, separate them and wrap each stem in plastic wrap to significantly reduce the amount of ethylene gas they emit. Once they hit your perfect level of ripeness, feel free to refrigerate them for just 1 or 2 days if needed. The skin may darken, but the inside will be fine. For the best smoothies ever, peel and freeze your bananas. Frozen bananas create a creamy texture without needing ice. Now let's discuss onions. One of the biggest mistakes many people make is storing onions in the refrigerator. The moment you put them in there, damage starts to occur, and it can't be undone. Refrigerators typically have about 95% humidity, but onions need dry conditions, with humidity of 65% or less. The excess moisture seeps into the onion's layers and creates a breeding ground for mold. Taking the time to store these fruits and vegetables correctly can really improve their taste and your overall health. Remember, small changes in how you store your food can lead to big benefits in your cooking and nutrition. It's important to take good care of our food, especially as we age. The way we store certain vegetables can significantly impact their taste, texture, and even their health benefits. Let's talk about 2 common items, onions and tomatoes. First up, onions. When black mold grows on onions, it produces aflatoxins, which are harmful substances that can increase cancer risk. Even before mold appears, if you refrigerate onions, something surprising happens. Their starches turn into sugars. A study from Texas found that refrigerated onions had a whopping 270% increase in sugar after just 2 weeks. This change makes them taste sweeter, almost like a dessert, and their texture becomes mushy, which can ruin recipes like French onion soup. Those lovely golden brown onions you see in restaurants won't happen if you keep them in the fridge. To store whole onions properly, keep them in a cool, dry place with good air circulation, like a pantry or cellar, at a temperature between 45 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid plastic bags because onions need to breathe. Instead, use mesh bags, baskets, or even pantyhose. Remember, onions and potatoes make poor roommates. They spoil each other, so keep them separate. Once you cut an onion, though, the rules change. You should store cut onions in an airtight container in the fridge and use them within a week to avoid bacteria. But remember, whole onions should never go in the refrigerator. Now let's talk about tomatoes. Many people are shocked to learn this. Research from the University of Florida shows that refrigerating tomatoes actually halts the genes responsible for their flavor. That means once you chill them, they won't regain their deliciousness, even if you let them warm back up. The study looked at over 25,000 genes and found that temperatures below 54 degrees Fahrenheit already deactivate many that are key for taste and nutrition. This is critical, especially for seniors, because tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant linked to heart health and cancer protection. Cooling tomatoes can reduce their lycopene levels by up to 65%, and refrigeration can strip away the enzymes needed for your body to absorb even what little is left. With chilled tomatoes, you'll notice they become mushy and grainy due to ice crystals forming and damaging their structure. So store your tomatoes at room temperature, stem side down, to keep them fresh. Aim for a temperature between 55 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, away from direct sunlight, but not hidden in a dark cabinet. They need some indirect light to preserve their nutrients. And just like onions, avoid plastic bags. Tomatoes release a gas called ethylene, which is vital for ripening. If trapped, it can lead to rot. One bad tomato can spoil the whole batch in a day. Small changes in how you store your food can make a big difference in keeping your meals tasty and your health intact. Take these tips to heart, and you might just elevate your cooking and overall well-being. Your health is worth it. Did you know that how you store your food can make a big difference in your health and well-being? Let's dive into some surprising tips that can help you get the most out of your groceries, especially as we age. First up, ripe tomatoes. If you've got a pile of these delicious fruits on your counter, try to use them within 3 to 5 days for the best flavor and nutrition. If you find yourself with more than you can eat, consider making a sauce and freezing it. When tomatoes are cooked, they actually become richer in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant, and freezing helps preserve this nutrient well. Now let's talk about avocados, the star of the show. Avocados are packed with over 20 essential nutrients and healthy fats that support brain health. However, putting them in the fridge can be a disaster. The cold destroys these good fats and can lead to losing up to 90% of their antioxidants in just a few days, according to research from Stanford University. These antioxidants are key to fighting inflammation, improving eye health, and absorbing nutrients from other foods. What's even more surprising is that refrigeration triggers an enzyme that breaks down the avocado from the inside out. This makes the avocado go from smooth and creamy to a stringy, watery mess that's not at all appetizing. To enjoy avocados at their best, store them at room temperature, ideally between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Place them in a bowl on your counter to let them breathe. If you want to speed up ripening, put them in a paper bag with a banana. The gas from the banana helps them ripen faster. Once they're ripe, if you must refrigerate them, try to do so for just 2 to 3 days. But keep in mind that you'll notice a difference in quality. A great tip to keep cut avocados fresh is to leave the pit in the unused half, brush the flesh with lemon juice, and store it in an airtight container with a piece of onion. The onion helps keep them from browning without changing the taste significantly. The difference in quality between a well-stored avocado and one that's been refrigerated is vast. Proper storage will maintain those healthy fats and creamy texture, giving your body the nutrients it deserves. In the end, knowing how to store your food can save you money and improve your health. Don't let your fridge sabotage your nutrition. Each nutrient counts, and they play a crucial role in helping us stay healthy as we age. Now that you're equipped with this knowledge, take charge of your food storage and make your body feel great. We want to hear from you. Were you surprised by any of these revelations? Have you been storing avocados incorrectly for years? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us today.